Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Ruhm with the Ruhm-Insurance Agency, licensed independent insurance agent located in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, I'm going to show you an Obamacare quote. So if you ever see the advertisements where like 4 out of 5 people get a plan for $10 or less, I'm going to show you how that happens. And it is actually true. I don't know about 4 out of 5, not in my case, but I have helped people with zero premium plans. So it does happen. It just really depends on your income. And I'm going to show you how that works. So if you want to run your own quote, you can come to my website, chrisroom.com, and you can click on the instant quotes from the get a quote button right here. And if you just scroll down to the Obamacare link right here, it'll take you to my page and it'll walk you through a quote. But I've already entered the demographics. This is the page that you're ultimately going to get to where you can change things. But I did a family of 4, age 35, 32, and then 2 children, age 5 and 3. And I just started out with an $80,000 income. So with an $80,000 income, the least expensive plan this year would be $1,048.91 if you're not getting a subsidy. Okay. But since they're getting a $1,010 subsidy, it lowers their plan down to $38.91. You don't have to do a thing. This is automatically done behind the scenes with healthcare.gov and the insurance company. All right. Now, $38.91 is great. It's a $9,450 deductible and it doubles for the family. So it's basically $19,000 or $18,900 in for the deductible and the out of pocket maximum. So Um, when you look over here, you can see the different carriers that are available. You can add a doctor or hospital. You can add prescriptions. I don't really recommend a prescription button until the end if needed. You can click here for the drugs and it'll show you better through this than the search button. But the provider search is pretty accurate. If you can't find your doctor, I can always help you out with that. I can help you out with all of this too. On that, going back to my webpage, if you want me to do the work for you, which I prefer to do, there's quote form page as well. And you can just scroll down to individual family health quote and just click on that and fill it out. And I can do all this for you and then send you a quote. So, anyways, here are the different metal levels. So, depending on your age, you can get a catastrophic if you're under 30. And then most of the plans are bronze, silver, or gold. Bronze being the least expensive with the highest out of pocket exposure. Silver depends on where your income falls. It can be a very beneficial plan if you're getting a cost sharing reduction. I'll show you that real quick in a second. And then gold plans are going to be the most expensive, typically have a lower deductible, high, but they still have a pretty high max out of pocket. So let me just show you. Here's a really popular plan that I've sold in the last couple of years. As you can see, we've gone from $38 up to $445. And then you have a $1,450 deductible with a $7,500 max. Okay, so once you hit the deductible, then you have what they call co-insurance. And co-insurance on this plan would be 30%. So if you had a bill after the deductible was met, you would have to pay 30% of that bill up until the max out of pocket of $7,500 or $15,000 for the family, or $1,450 for the deductible and $2,900 for the family. Okay, so just take that into consideration. If you're relatively low usage, meaning you're not going to go to the doctor or the hospital a lot, I always tell people, why would you want to pay, almost $400 more in premium just to have a copay? I'm a big fan of HSA plans. So let's just show HSA plans. I'm going to unclick the gold. Here you could get a $92 plan versus a $440 plan and put that extra savings into the HSA every month, reduce taxable income. And then if something does come up, a typical doctor visit for a primary is under $100. And so is a specialist typically. It might be a little bit more. So if you have an extra $400 a month to put into the HSA or even $200 a month, if you only go to the doctor maybe 5 to 10 times a year, and that's even kind of a high side, you'll have the money set aside for that negotiated rate. Okay, so I'm a big fan of HSA plans. This is a great plan. This is actually the plan I have this year. Personally, I wish it was $92, but It's a good solid plan, good company, Medical Mutual of Ohio, great network here in Cincinnati and throughout Ohio. All right, so let me just show you a real quick example of a silver plan. This might take some finagling here, but let's say the same family made 6,000 or 60,000 instead of 80. As you can see, the children are eligible for Medicaid, so we don't want that. I mean, if that's what they're eligible for, that, so be it. It's not a Medicaid in Ohio is actually pretty good, and you do need to put them on there in order to not get hit hard with a tax debit at the end of the year. So here's a 70,000. They're eligible for a cost sharing reduction. So now you can see that same plan that I liked for $92 is now zero. Let's click on just the silver plans. I'm going to uncheck the HSA options, and then we'll go to silver. And we're not getting a ton of help yet. So 4750, 7200. I'm going to just drop it down a little bit more to show you. This will make even more sense now how if you're in the right spot for, you can also see that there's not much room for margin either. We don't want to be 650,000. Well, that'd be nice. You wouldn't care about premiums probably. But a 65,000 still there. I'm surprised not giving. Okay, so 62,000, it's putting them back in Medicaid. So my example that I was hoping for isn't happening. Typically, uh, I guess because it's a family, they're more apt to put the children in Medicaid. But sometimes you'll see this 4750 go down to like $600, and this will be like 3,000. But apparently, with a family of four, they just throw the kids into Ohio Medicaid, and that's that. So I'm going to try something else. I'm going to remove the kids real quick and just pretend like it's a family of two. All right, so 62,000 for a family of two still gets a nice subsidy, but they're not getting any cost sharing reduction. So I'm going to do like 35,000 now. So here you'll see a $21.37. So let me just, this is what I wanted to show you. $600 deductible, $3,000 max. That's on 35,000 income. If I go to 45,000, I want to see if they're still getting that cost sharing reduction, but you can see that same $600 deductible, this exact same plan, the premium went up, the deductibles went up, and the out of pocket maximum. So it really just depends on where you fall in terms of income and then where you live. You know, you got to put your zip code in, your correct county, and then age and income just play a different role for everybody. Not one person probably will get the exact same rate unless they're making a lot of money and they're not getting a subsidy. And then, as always, the last thing I like to tell people, I should have probably told you this in the beginning, anybody can get one of these plans during the open enrollment window, which we are in right now. The open enrollment window is November 1st through January 15th. And you can get a plan without any health questions asked. It doesn't matter how much money you make. Doesn't matter really how little money you make either. If you want to get a policy, even if you qualify for Medicaid, you can, but you're going to pay the full premium. So it's not a good idea. If you qualify for Medicaid, I always say get Medicaid. It's really good in Ohio and some other states too. But what I often hear from people out there in the social media world, I make too much money, I can't get a plan, or they'll come up with some other excuse why they can't get a plan. Anybody can get one of these plans. You may not like the premiums, you may not like the deductibles, you may not like the out of pocket maximums, you may not like the network, you may not like the insurance company, you may not like insurance, period. But anybody can get one of these plans. So hopefully you found this helpful. Again, you can come to chrisruhm.com, my homepage, and then you just click on the get a quote. Again, I have a quote form, and you can fill the form out by clicking on the link. It'll take you to this page here, and it goes through all the information I need from you. Or you can come to this page, instant quotes, and you scroll down to this link here. And all you need to do is to start out is enter your zip code and then just go through the see plans and prices. If you want to put your additional information in so I can see who you are and possibly help you out, you can put your name and email and phone number in there, and I can help you. But all you need is your zip code to get you going. And it's eventually, what I would recommend is just skip through everything until you get to the page I was showing you, where you can see this information. But if you want to enter the information in beforehand, feel free. Again, the prescription thing isn't really beneficial. You're better off just looking after the fact or having me help you with that. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, my name is Chris Ruhm, licensed independent insurance agent located in Cincinnati, Ohio. Currently hold a license in 18 states. Have a great day. Bye-bye.